Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I didn't see this coming and it's probably the worst news they could have heard on the Diamond Princess. So first off, there is a little bit of good news and there is some things going on that I didn't know about and I questioned. So let's get into that a little bit later. First, the good news. The Dream cruise ship that was stuck in Hong Kong where they tested all the passengers on board. All the passengers came up cleared and they were allowed to leave the ship. So that ship is no longer locked in. Their passengers are on their way home and they all cleared. So good news there. That was the best news so far this week. Also today we found out the official port. It's just off the coast, about I think it's 50 or 90 miles outside of Bangkok is where the Westerdam will be able to disembark her passengers. And remember, there's no traces of illness on either of those two ships. They were just, nope, don't come in. You went to Hong Kong during the ban. You're not allowed in our ports. And Japan said, nope, we have enough issues right now with the Diamond Princess. We don't need you here too. And so, yeah, that was a cruise to nowhere. As I did say, the Holland America did say all passengers will get a full refund and all passengers will get a 100% future cruise credit. And also, Holland America, I hope you help people with their airline tickets as well, since you had them initially change from Shanghai to Yokohama Harbor and said now you'll have to leave and fly to there. And then now you change from flying out of Yokohama Harbor, where they probably changed all their airline tickets to flying out of Bangkok. As many of you know, when you're flying a long distance, like from North America to Asia, those airline tickets can be really expensive, especially if you went premium economy or business class or even worse, first class. They're tens of thousands of dollars sometimes. And in fact, I just was looking at a couple cruises. I did book some cruises this week, and I was looking at a couple, and the air flight, if I added, and I'm a solo cruiser, if I added my air flight and one night hotel, it was more expensive than the whole cruise was. So why would I fly to that kind of cruise? So yeah, I hope Holland America that you help those people as well with the airfare. Because, yeah, you can't change ports of where you're leaving over and over again. I know it's not your fault. Well, let's not go there. Let's get off of that topic and we'll go into the Diamond Princess. Now, the Diamond Princess has had some more bad news. That's right. 65 more passengers have been confirmed. That brings the total up to 130 passengers. 130? 135 passengers now would be confirmed, which, at first it was looking good. It went 10, 41, then 3, then 5. So it looked like it's slowing down, and now 65. And I found out, I said, well, that's not so bad. It's still not great news for everybody. But what I found out is that they haven't tested everybody. They're not testing everybody on board. They've only tested a percentage of the people on board. And there's now calls out there for every single passenger and crew member on board to be tested. And the Minister of Japan's Health has said, well, that would be hard to do. That would be very difficult, even though Hong Kong just tested over 1,300 people in one day. Japan says they're able to test about 1,000 people per day. Well, maybe they should make room. There's still like 7 to 8 days left of this lockdown in Yokohama Harbor. Why are they not testing everybody? If people are still coming down as you're testing it day after day after day after day, Yeah, don't let them off the ship until everybody gets tested. It's far from lunacy that you would do something like that. Why on earth would you let anybody off that ship that has not been tested? In fact, some crew members who are from India, apparently there's about 130 to 160 Indian residences on board who work on the cruise ships, and like 6 or 7 who are passengers, and they have sent a plea out to the Prime Minister or the leader of India to rescue them. In other words, they said they keep waiting day after day to see who's next, who's getting sick next. And while I don't think evacuating everybody off the ship and sending them all over the world is the right idea, you can see now that with the influx and the increase every single day now of new passengers, people don't feel safe unless you go and test everybody. There can still be people on board who haven't shown signs yet that are still spreading it around. Yes, you're letting people up on the top deck right now for fresh air, and yeah, you kind of have to, but I would like to go up on deck with somebody who's been tested like myself that's clear, and not somebody who hasn't been tested and may not be clear and may be eventually contagious. I don't understand the logic behind not testing everybody on the cruise ship. It makes absolutely no sense to me that they would do that. What do you guys think? Would you let anybody off this ship who hasn't been tested? And apparently they haven't reset the clock. They're still planning on getting everybody off the ship after the initial 14-day period is over with, whether they've been tested or not. But now there are some outcries and calls from other countries saying, yeah, you know what? Maybe if you don't test them, maybe we're not going to let them leave your country. They're going to be stuck in Yokohama and Japan, and if they come down sick, you'll have to deal with it. And so maybe, just maybe, the minister is starting to take notice of this. How can you not take notice of it now that it's almost doubled in one day? That is a very scary proposition. Very scary indeed. Everyone was starting to calm down, saying it looks like it's on the way down. Everything's looking good. Now the Westerdam is going to find a place to get off. The people on the Dream were let go in Hong Kong. Everything's looking pretty good. So far, so good. News from the Anthem of the Seas in New York. We haven't heard anything. Don't know if it's sailing yet today or not. I haven't seen any reports on it. Don't know if the test results are back. But right now, everything looked like it was calming down. And then we have this news of 65 more people on the Diamond Princess. That's not great news at all. And again, I understand the passengers on board wanting to get off as soon as possible, and I have no problem getting them off as long as they're tested before they're off the ship. Don't let anybody off that ship who has not been tested. And I don't understand how Japan right now has not set that as a huge, huge priority. Right now, as far as a number of cases, the number of cases on that ship is as much or more than the number of cases in Japan. So how would you not take that into effect? Like the percentage that's happening right now on that ship, if it doubles again today and doubles again tomorrow, or even half or whatever, you're going to have people jumping overboard or riding on that ship because they've been pretty good about it so far. But when they hear the news of, it doubling in one day, and then if you tell them tomorrow it goes up by another 60 or 70, and you tell them again by 80 or 90, whoa, right? Whoa, what's going on? People will want to get off that ship by any means possible, and I doubt the 10 people you have standing outside the ship are going to be able to stop all 3,000 from getting off if they want to get off at one point. You do not want an incident like that. So start testing everybody, not just people who are showing symptoms. People who are showing symptoms are great, but by then it's too late because they've already spread it to whoever else they're with. So you have to start testing every single passenger on board, and once they've cleared, put them in an area of the ship, change the staterooms around, and start moving down from the front or the rear of the ship all the way down, or decks. These people have been cleared, these people have been cleared, these people have been cleared, these people have been cleared. And then you'll have a little bit more of an idea what's going on, and you'll know exactly who's infected and who's not, and you'll be able to contain it better. Until then, it's a crapshoot right now. You're rolling the dice and hoping it slows down and stops all on its own. But guess what? Your efforts right now are not working. And in a statement, the minister said, just because it doubled to, last night doesn't mean that our methods aren't working. Well, it kind of does. It kind of does mean it's not working. Let's see what happens today, and let's see what happens tomorrow. Because if it doesn't slow down or stop completely, you'll be singing a different tune. And I guarantee you, the world will be telling you to make sure you test every person on board that ship, or they're not going to get off that ship. And that is a scary proposition, and I feel for everybody on board. Some people who were in such a great mood and, taking pictures, it's all right, we're still on a cruise ship, they're treating us well. Well, when they were announced that there's 65 more, that did not sit well with most of them, no matter how optimistic you are about any of this. So I feel for every single person on the Diamond Princess. At least the other two ships look like it's going to be okay. It looks like the Anthem of the Sea will probably be okay. And then we only have to get this one under control. Well, I hope you appreciate this news update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.